raise our country budget 1.2 billion. We have never been to that kind of place before in our life. And there's prospect for more. When they talk about fiscal discipline, this particular government understand what they say discipline around money, especially the country money. Money will not belong to anybody. You don't see offshore accounts, people hiding money, so yeah. We're very proud of you, Papa. We're happy. We want for you and Vice President Kun to issue again on another time. So for 2029, I will be forefront. Yeah, I'm supporting you, I'm standing with you, I'm behind you, I'm in front of you, I saw you. Yeah, that's my only thing I'm able to do. I'm able to give you nothing but my vote, my support. So that it will do. We'll give it to you. Because you show us what it means to be a citizen of Liberia, what the worth is when you are a citizen of a country, what a leader cares for you as a citizen. Papa building schools, Papa opening football academy, building academy. The Papa building roads. Politicians where I wasn't in face the road. Papa building roads. The Papa creating energy centers. Our only solar area, so East only countries then can be getting their current. Gasoline. As much as now they have war in Iran, we now also Papa now for have major ship come to Liberia to add our something up for the next 2 to 3 months, so we can be operating. Gas pricing be shaking here, will be online, other things there. Fiscal discipline. LEC then, well, what did today the other community, tomorrow the other community, it is now 100%. But Papa, we saw changes. Look at our rice. Himotan, rice price went as far as $27 US, Papa, from $13 or $14 straight. Today. I know hear one Liberian complaining on staple food. Hey, Boga, we really at the some kind of way with you. If we're gonna put you there for time, that time where the first time where we put that guy there, time of day, Baby. I think Liberian citizens now they are taking pay from their own resources in the country. Yes. You really are a sleeping giant, Baby. Yes. You waited. You was very calculative. You executed a job. You were on point. You understand the assignment. Yo, you.
You see, the Papa understand the assignment. My small brother, let me say something to you. Don't be ashamed. You know that lady girl I went to that beauty pageant in Liberia. What say, what should I shy? Don't be shy, our little brother. The Papa don't want nothing from you but your appreciation to do your vote and your recognition that your country must grow, something that you're doing right there. That's all your country needs from you, that your album are open so you can want something for the future of our children. That's what the president wants. And what the president has reciprocated to you is leadership. Leadership, accountability to the very people that he is so on oath to uphold the Constitution towards their protection. That's what President Bouakai has done. So my small brother, I'm going to say this to you. I don't know your name. Don't be ashamed. There is always room at a place that will grow Liberia. Come home, you're already home. That confusion was brought on by people that believe they can give you $10 and $20 and buy the future of our children to destroy. We can no longer allow that in Liberia, and that's my motivator every single day when I sit in the seat. That's what motivates me. Knowing that the young people in Liberia, their eyeball opening. I see young people will say, I'm only 15. I can't vote yet, but 2029, I will be 18. The Papa is carving a new future for our children. And this is the message that we must preach, that Liberia must be elevated. I'm so proud of you, young man. Trust me more than you ever imagine. And that means our sitting here is not in vain, that this message is going out to young people. But the biggest person that is driving this message is President Bouakai himself with his actions. If I don't talk too much, when you see so girl wasting water, any store you go to rest there. You won't go to Grand Crew. From Moria, you get to Grand Crew with ease. You won't get to Grand Jida. 6 hours you're in Grand Jida. You can go to Maryland, opening the country, making it accessible. less chaos in the country, order, dignity. And guess what? The Pape has appointed some of the most responsible people in government to help him guide this process. That is responsible leadership. And that's what we've always been celebrating in this country. That's what we always wanted in this country. But for so long, we allow the future of our children to be given to men and women that were not even fit to become Yah boys. That mistake will never be made again, because we will fight tooth and nail, sit on this airwave, and send a message to our people. You open your eyes. What you see now can continue. If you want a reversal, then you can do that nonsense. But I don't think a single person in the country wants any reversal again. In Liberia, this country has to develop. As Liberian diaspora come home from across the globe and begin to invest in the country, they don't want chaos. They want stability. They want order. They want a judicial system that is expeditious, that can come in very quickly and address their issue. You don't want to run people away. You want contracts to be upheld. You want regulatory agencies to function the way they were designed by government. It can only be done under responsible leadership. Something that is really being exhibited right now under President Boakai. Young people, don't be shy. Continue to make these videos. We will highlight them, because for every video you make, it's going to inspire another person to recognize that they are worth something. You don't have to pay. Somebody look at your own money, they pay 10-story buildings, say, yeah, but they may knock out. They may knock out with your own future. We cannot have that anymore. You're welcome to the show, y'all. Let's start the show.
Class Reloaded, the #1 online show that brings the truth. Showcasing JMB and JKK progress all across the country.
The Class Reloaded, we are online every day. Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well,
JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we shining today. Hey. Oh.
From Monrovia City to the other counties, development talk shake the country. We talk the truth, we don't lie. The rescue mission making people smile. Roads getting better, schools better, electricity stable, no more hoping. We see the change, we see the light. Unity Party doing things right. Who talk the fast?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better rise again?
Oh yes we can.
Who talk the fast?
The Class Reloaded.
Who bring the vibe?
The Class Reloaded.
Support development.
The Class Reloaded.
Who better rise again?
Oh yes we can. The Class Reloaded, we are online every day.
Every day.
Hey. Showcasing progress the Liberian way.
Well, JMB and JKK, they're making the way. The Class Reloaded, we shining today.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
hey, hey. Turn up the sound, let the people dance. Liberia progress, we get the chance. No fake news, we bring the proof. The Class Reloaded always in the booth. From social media to the street corner, everybody talking about the new order. Respect to the hosts, they keeping it real. Liberia future, that's the deal. The Class Reloaded,
Truth, truth,
Liberia rising.
progress.
JMB and JKK,
Develop, develop.
the rescue mission, we move soon.
The Class Reloaded.
True,
Area rising.
progress.
JMB and JKK.
Develop, the rescue mission, we move soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining this conversation this afternoon. I want to welcome you guys from across the country. And as always, man, big shout out to Class AFM for the great work of relaying the show across Margibi County. Radio Margibi as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Peace FM, Radio Kwatike out of Banga. Thank you plenty. Premier FM also in Bangabon County. Radio Gompa in Ganta City. Radio Yalimba out of Sekli Pianima County. Tab FM out of Zwedru. Ablija Radio in Grand Bassa County. Radio Sando out of Greenville. Thank you guys for joining us. The ever present Radio Bootor, thank you for joining us. Mr. Yanti, Christopher Yanti, no sound. I recommend you restart your device. Trust FM out of Bumming. Punch FM way out there in Morovia, Bourgeois Radio. Thank you so much for relaying the show. I got a message that Lo-Fi is also relaying the show. Radio Lo-Fi, thank you so much for continuing to expand Liberia across the country. We have to send this message across Liberia. Something is happening in our country, and our good thing, and I want our good thing to continue. But the only way that good thing can continue, we got to spread the good news that Liberia is getting better, and we should want more for the country. I see Musuya, Pegadolo, how are you doing, Mama? How's everything with you? Prince, Marvin Jacobs, Mr. Jacobs, welcome to the show. Joseph T. Kaba, Mr. Kaba, how are you doing, man? Siata Timbe, hey, Siata, what's up, Mama? David Boker out of Newark, New Jersey, thank you for joining us. Samuel Morris Tribe, Junior, Mr. Tribe, how are you doing? Dawa, Gay, Allen Johnson, City, Tennessee, Siata, Timbe, I think I said your name already, Siata. That's everything with you, Bill Carson. This here, your name, Mr. Carson, Roof Pain. Madam Payne, with God above, we are getting there small in Jesus' name. Madam Payne, I could not agree with you any less. Thank you so much. The message must be sent out there that Liberia is getting better. Marie Johnson, thank you for joining us. Frank Siawe, Mr. Siawe, Arlington Cully, Mr. Cully, how are you doing, sir? Welcome to the show across Liberia, man. Thank you plenty for joining up. To my own brother, Momo M. Salamani is here, Marcia Snarling. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Look, and today you guys were here. I played several videos. It's for those of us who only complain about Liberia. It's not that we don't know. We're a third world country, okay? We are far from a middle income country. Liberia has a lot of faults. But one thing I want people to always understand, within those faults, there are tremendous opportunities. And one of the things that I want Liberians themselves to take advantage of those opportunities. If somebody tells you we don't have enough guest houses in Robertsport, it's a tremendous opportunity. I don't see that as a negative. I see that as an opportunity that some Liberians can go in there and put something there. Yes, there will be some difficulties. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing easy about this. When you see Liberians now looking back to the country and trying to build something in Liberia, if we want a certain kind of Liberia, that phrase that people can say, look at Ghana, it may erase from our vocabulary. Look at Rwanda, look at Tanzania. I don't want to hear it anymore. I want us to bury it within ourselves and then project it in Grangita County. Let's say, look at Grangita County. Let's project it all the way in Lofa County. This is where I want that projection to go. But every time we say that, without you thinking about it, you're diminishing us. We cannot be diminished. They don't have two heads. We get it seen two head. We get it seen one head. All of them get one head. So they hear what they get, we get it seen here. But we got to find a way to expand what we can do in the country and not just complain. If we want a $2 billion budget, we have to invest into the country. We have to invest into the country. If we want a $1.5 billion budget, we have to invest into the country, and we have to move to pay our taxes in the country. Liberian diasporans have to do more. Even if that $300 tax you're paying annually, that's something going towards the government. Now, I'll hear somebody, but when they use the money, they can see the money, they use it to pay a salary. I get it. Let me tell you something. America was so corrupt. The city of Chicago, the city of New York, the city of Boston, the corruption in the Western country was so massive. But guess what? Over time, one company went into Quincy, Massachusetts. They built an operation there. It was a private operation, and that private operation forced the government to adjust. In London, England, there was massive corruption. Paris, France. You go into Moscow today, every single society began this way. My thing is, I don't want us to turn our backs on Liberia because it is not perfect. I know there will be difficulties. Imagine the 3-4, when the show is over, almost 100,000 people that have watched the show the first 2-3 days. Imagine 20% of those people invested in Crusoeville in Liberia. Corruption forced to move from there. Because what will happen is, when we invest in Crusoeville, the township commissioner will put a good person there. We'll get a better town hall. We get a better committee in that township. The schools will have a better PTA people in the school. The police department, the director knows now. You got people that Dwalu, you got David Pune, you got people that Momoti Johnson, you got Moba Boli, you got Hawa Golaka. In living in Crusoeville, guess what happens? We are forced to change the narrative. The corruption happened because Liberia best and brightest minds have left the country. In many instances, people that are left behind, they only talk about eating. What I will get, that my own I won't get. They don't understand the bigger picture. We have to force that narrative in the country where it changes. So when you migrate to Grand Cayman County or you invest in Grand Cayman County, your noise is bigger. The Chinese did this. The Vietnamese have done this. The Laois is doing this. You go into Thailand, this is how it was done. You come here to America, even during the Wild West days, if you watch these old Western movies, you go to the Wild West, there was total chaos. Over time, Oregon, Wyoming, these places were literally jungles. But gradually, somebody put a little hut there. And that hut, eventually, they put a courthouse. Now they put a cemetery, they put a city hall, they put a school, they put a hospital, and then we can grow our society. We have a responsibility that I don't want us to neglect. And our responsibility says we must look back to Liberia in a major way, because when all of us are looking back at Liberia, we're forced to develop. Nobody can start that development. We're forced to develop. Once again, man, to the audience, to everybody, thank you for joining us. Patrick, can we develop local content in Google Pool? Well, I mean Google people, I mean people that can change the environment, not there.
We want to call people Google people.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. Well, I mean people with some skills that can change the environment. You got people there with skills, but we need more people. We need sufficient people with skills there to change the environment drastically. That's the point I'm trying to make.
No, but again, let me say how excited I am. By the way, I heard about a group of people in the diaspora who are coming to the country. That group is coming to the country. They want to invest in real estate. I understand they have found a place along the route going to Fendel called they want to do Unionsville, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's very positive. I heard about it today. And that was when Mustafa Njai came to Liberia and visited with His Excellency. I think you spoke about that. This man is building 5,000 housing units in Freetown, Sierra Leone, 1,000 of which he's already constructed. He has his footprints in Nigeria, in the Gambia, and now he's moving to Liberia. I particularly decided to do some research, and I inserted the pros and the cons in my research on AI. And it's so easy right now to research anybody because, you don't want anything to turn out like Eton and Ibomaf, right? So you always want to do your own research on people, and it's really authentic. He is a reliable fellow. And basically we're glad to have had him here today in the country. I understand he's going to be here for the entire week. He had met with the National Investment Commission. He also met with the Housing Authority people. Let's hope exactly. Is this he?
Yeah, Mustafa. I think that's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what a great man, wanting to invest in constructing 1 million housing units across Africa. 1 million. Liberia gets 5,000 of those housing units. That's not bad for us. We could get more.
That's very good.
We could get more. But yeah, so basically, that has been really trending on social media. Did you hear about the Konodu border point in Kwaruboni today? News broke out that the Guinean soldiers had left where they were stationed from the Kwaruboni side.
Correct.
And we like to make that very clear.
I will look for some video. I saw some today, but I did not upload it. I'll look for some video. And Mr. Nambe, before I come to you, Patrick, I want to make this clarity. When I say Google, let me be very clear because no one can twist people word. Patrick, thank you for highlighting that. Enough Kugupo will go in one place. We have some in Lofa, we have some in Grand Gire, but we need more there. That is the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't mean Kugupo not there already. Kugupo there, but we need more of them there to change it. That is the problem I'm trying to make. Mr. Number, welcome to the show, sir.
Well, thank you, Dwalo and Patrick. Good to see you. The issue of owning a home is a fundamental right globally. Yeah, it's a right that the government must be seen as having a hand in it. It's a right and it's an aspiration that every family will want to experience. And that is why in developed countries, you see families will do everything just to be able to own a home. Here, unfortunately, it's left on your own hustle to a larger extent. It's left on your own hustle to a larger extent. In the US, I know there are different programs where people are supported, for example, on your first home purchase. There are different aspects, you know, and then you get to pay over time. So for me, this is probably one of the biggest news, one of the biggest opportunity where the government has been able to prove it's worthy of the attention of an entrepreneur who has proven 100% commitment to ensuring that Africans, his brothers and his sisters, will have the opportunity to own a home. I follow him on Facebook, on Instagram. You know, he's someone that also like social media as well. So he's always promoting his projects from start to finish. Then you see what he is doing. So I think it's a good thing that we have his attention. But Patrick, the stuff you're mentioning about diaspora Liberians, you know, trying to start something, I think it's in the Fender area. But I think this is not a growing trend. My niece was telling me about a gated community that they were part of, you know, in somewhere in the Brewerville area as well. So people are yearning to come home. They want to make that investment to owning a home. But I think, you know, once the prevailing environment is available to them, in terms of security, in terms of electricity, in terms of water, in terms of roads, you know, some of the videos that Dwalu played earlier, you know, people tell you that they prefer being way here than being in a diaspora, you know, where things are a bit challenging. Here, people are free, you know, to do a lot of things. So I'm glad to be back on the show. Thank you, Dwalu.
Yeah, muted, Dwalu.
Mo, thank you, Mo. Welcome to the show. Benedict, thank you so much. Professional people, that's the better way to do it. Well, thank you so much, Mo. Welcome to the show. What's going on with you? How was your weekend? What's happening in the country? I think I'm going to upload a video. People showing the video that our brothers, the Guineans, have left. Guys, y'all got to understand, that was leadership. So everybody that was causing in the country over something that was minor, now what? Mo, welcome to the show, my brother. I played the video, man. That video you sent me from that young guy that explained.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Video. Welcome, Mo.
Dwalu, thanks. Minister Pia, how are you, sir? I like the shirt. I've been in conversation today, the whole day, with the managing director and deputy for operations at the LPRC, and they just called. You know, later on the show, maybe when everybody gives their introduction or their opening statement, I would like to have them on so that they can talk to the public about the fuel situation in the country, both gasoline and AGO. It is very important for us to, you know, keep informing the public about happening. But I would like to say, yeah, I have been skimming through various countries about the condition and the situation with fuel in them. Still, as it stands, even though there are people trying to play politics comparing now to what happened in 2022, which 2022, which was squarely based on ineptitude and lack of, idea to govern. We are still at the lower end of prices in the sub-region. Sierra Leone is going to almost $8 a gallon for fuel. Even in Ghana, gasoline is around $6 a gallon. And all the other countries, there are bigger countries that even have refining capacity and bigger storage capacity. They are now rationing. Thailand is now rationing fuel supply, and they are asking people to work, fewer days in the week and stay home. Another country I was just watching, I think Zimbabwe also, they are actually asking people to do carpooling to work so that everybody can drive their vehicles to work to save on fuel consumption. And it is everywhere, South Africa and all those countries. And so Philippines declares state of emergency. So you have people who don't understand most of these things and they want to make it out of politics. This is not as a result of ineptitude. As a matter of fact, with all of the crisis going on, we have still managed to keep fuel supply, petroleum product supply on the market. Unlike that time, it wasn't there. So Dwalu, when everybody is done with their introduction, I would like to have both of them on the line so that we can ask them some questions. Thank you.
Makes a lot of sense. Before we go to the minister, Stevie, welcome to the show, my brother. I'm gonna actually upload a photo while you guys doing that to show the fuel prices across Africa so people can compare and see how Liberia compares with them. Stephen, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, Dwalu, it's good to be back. Happy to be here, and I think the issue raised by Mo Ali is very serious. The global crisis in terms of the supply of the petroleum product has taken a serious hit. And I like to commend the folks here at the LPRC, because as some other countries in Asia, have started to take appropriate measure in terms of reducing commute time, declaring a state of emergency, some of them rationing the daily commute. In the case of Liberia, we've not even seen any long lines at our filling station. We've not seen it. Yesterday, I drove to the gas station. I was the only car there for a while, got gas and left. So it's good that we have supply. Yeah, I do agree that, because of the inadequate supply, they will have some effect on prices. But yet and still, if you do a national average or a continental average of the price of petroleum product, you see that Liberia is still in the low percentile, meaning that we're still paying a very low amount for gasoline compared to other countries. And I think all of this is because of the continuous supply of petroleum product on the market. And yeah, Dwalu, that's where I like to begin my introduction to comments.
Honorable Pia, welcome to the show, sir.
Yes, how are you, Dwalu, and hello to the team. Just stopping by, and we eventually disappear, as I announced before. Mr. Namwe, how you doing, sir?
I'm very well, sir. Thank you.
How is Arsenal?
Arsenal is doing very well, sir. Thank you.
Mo Ali, Steven Johnson, and how is Real Madrid? What's Stevie talking here, true?
We need a Champions League team.
Maloka coming, my man. Dwalu, I know maybe you don't take too much.
Mama, you're not asking me to?
What am I asking for?
You want bring man, you been there, don't mind. We got the
Arsenal like that popcorn girl I posted. What the popcorn girl be jumping?
You play one time, your team can play one time a week. I mean, one time a month.
Dwalu, you frozen or what? Is the host frozen?
I'm not frozen. When I'm looking at another screen, it just freezes me when I'm listening. Yeah.
All right. I thought because you don't get up for football business, so your attention went away from what I was trying to invoke here.
At Chelsea
no, it's
mail.
good.
I get time for football at Chelsea mail.
Oh, okay, Chelsea man. Then we have some similarity on. It's good to be on. You know, the last time we were here, you were focused on this. Too much talk about 2029, if you recall very well. And I said something. I said, let's focus on where we are now. Let's forget about 2029 because we don't know who gets to 2029. You know, just an honest conversation. Today, I was following social media. I come from Grand Basso, as you know. And then GN News has posted about the homegoing of one of our citizens, one of our brothers. But the way they posted it was in a way where the last time they were doing the program in Buchanan, they have interviewed this very fellow and he was passionately talking about 2029 and et cetera, et cetera. They interviewed him. And then today, they got news that the very person they interviewed that day had passed. And I want to really sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, express condolences to his family. But the only reason why I brought it out is the Christians will always say tomorrow is not promised. Some people make this whole electoral business to be a do or die thing. Even though none of us, including myself who's talking, including all of you seated on this platform, got no guarantee that you see 2029. There's a popular young lady, I think she was working with the National Social Security and Welfare Corporation. Many persons saw her on Friday. Some saw her on Saturday and interacted with her. On Easter Sunday morning, she was dead. We need to live at peace with our fellow men. Yes, we have different political sides, but let not those sides make us to see politics as a do or die battle. And let us just live one day at a time. Because the moment you're living in now, you're sure of it. You've got no idea what tomorrow brings. Maybe Mr. Pierre sitting here and somebody says, the information minister 2029 will see them. What guarantee you have that you're seeing them? Zero guarantee. So I want to express condolences to his family and pray that he finds rest with the Lord. Back to our country, I know you guys were talking about this investor who is providing affordable housing for people across the continent. I have seen a video done by Emmanuel Couture when he was in Sierra Leone, highlighting some of the houses he's built there. So I was glad when I realized today I was at the mansion early in the morning for something. And just about the time I was leaving, he was being ushered in by Ambassador Mohamed by Jeff Bribo and others. I'm like, okay, I saw this guy, and so he found his way to Liberia. These are good news. People with money who want to invest them, they don't run their money to places where they're not sure, you know, the investment can be protected, can be secure. It means Liberia is a shining star that many persons are looking forward to. People see many things to judge whether the leadership in the country is okay. In other places, situations such as the one we had on the border would have by now been a full-blown crisis. As much as some people are trying to make mockery of it, that we have compromised our sovereignty, we allow foreign troops to be on our soil, and they talk all the blah, 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 blah. The government remained focused. And you see how that matter is mitigating itself. That's leadership. If people are outside, they got their money, they see those kind of situations, say, okay, there's a serious country. with serious leaders, we can invest there. You know, that's where we are. We know we fast-tracking development. For some people who don't want to see it, they wanted us to behave irresponsibly and just let her break loose. Then everything gets in reverse. And they say, yeah, what the development is they were doing. Yeah, 40 people did not bring war to the country and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. We didn't follow all of that. We remain focused on our developmental initiative. Roads have been built. When I'm driving from Broadway now coming to town, I feel so impressed with the speed at which the guys are handling the road that leads from Broadway to Broad Street. I think they're doing a great job. And many other places in the country, I've placed a couple of videos in the chat room there on roads, whether it's from Seklepi to Tapeta or different places, or whether it is from Salayena moving up to Zozo. All these progressive things are happening, and there are just some people who thought that would be as foolish as the foolish devil to squander them by mismanaging a situation that we could resolve. We show it differently, thank God. I see people, you guys are talking about the petroleum product. I was reading some newspaper headlines, and they bring all kinds of politics, talking about Russian tanker, the other one.
Yeah.
They're going, anything you're doing to mitigate a situation, getting vexed.
Yeah.
So anything that looks like
I even commented on that post. Very foolish.
Softening the situation, they try to blow it out of proportion. You know, but none of those will help.
Yeah, it might help.
We will manage this situation carefully. This is not peculiar to any individual country, Liberia inclusive.
Yeah.
And some want to make crazy comparison. When you squander the situation here and people were forming queues and struggling to get petroleum product, nothing was going on. At this point, there's a global crisis that's affecting everywhere in the world. And we are navigating so perfectly into that crisis that we're hoping will end soon. And we give ourselves flying colors where those conflicts will end soon because we've managed it so well. You can be arguing costs. You can be making laws for costs. Nobody is producing petroleum products here. We all get it. The business people who are bringing get it from the global transaction. Exactly. If a barrel used to be $90, a barrel used to be $80, and it's claiming Jacob ladder, you don't expect that the prices will not go up. In other places, the prices are up and the products are non-available.
Not available.
We rather have the product available and keep having cost adjusted consistent with what is happening on the global market. That's a good show and good sign of leadership. No doubt, the individuals who are giving this country to manage, they're doing great. I said to Amos before when I went to LPRC, I will say again on this platform, these are young people who are entrusted to manage that sector. And I believe they're doing excellently well. The way they kept petroleum product in the country, the way they ensured that their reserve was okay. In addition to the fact that they were always making advanced arrangement for additional product to come, which is leadership. That's what got us sailing so well, and we need to commend them for as young as they are, taking charge of a critical sector of our governance architecture and doing so well. That's how I wanted to start, Walu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, and I want to appreciate you. And on the screen, for those of you who don't know what's going on globally right now, if you went to Cameroon, 1 liter is $1.49. You got to times that by 4. That's what you get for Cameroon. So you guys that are doing the math, help me in the thread.
Tell them 1 liter at 1 beer bottle. So they can
1 beer bottle. So that 4 beer bottle. Yeah, thank you. 4 beer bottle, you got a 1 gallon. So that means Liberia is far less. Zambia,
so that's $5. That's $5.96.
Exactly. So this is the cost around. So you see Liberia is here as of April, which is this month, is around $4.33 for Liberia. But if you look at everybody else, Liberia is doing quite well by comparison what is happening out there. And more, before I forget, I want to recognize some of these guys. Y'all, thank you so much for our class with that crew that we are putting together. Some of you guys that are contributed. Sam, Dewey, you contributed $150. I want to say thank you so much. Jerry J. Dubley, $50. Kevin Davis gave me $25. Kevin Kalako gave $30. That's the people that send me money through Cash App. Those of you who send me money through Zelle, there were a few of you guys, and let me just call your names very quickly. I want to tell you guys thank you plenty if I can find it. So in Zelle, I got Richard Samalu sent me $50. Thank you so much. My brother Dwana sent me $75. Maya Matabu sent me $25. Louis Yasia sent me $50. Mana sent me $50. I want to say thank you so much for you guys' contribution and whatever we have to do to put this stuff out there. And more before we even go forward, there was something published today.
Sorry. On this Zelle and would it not be also okay to have mobile money here?
Yeah, so one of you guys, it would be nice. One of you guys I know we'll put a mobile money together in Liberia because some people have already reached out. They said, oh, dollar won't contribute to. Y'all want to know what they I said, we want y'all what they do. Anything we can get, we'll get it. So we'll get a mobile money down there. I think we'll look into it.
Yeah, mobile orange money.
Yeah, we need some on the ground for people to be able to help with that. So the government of the Republic of Liberia, we're going to start the show on the executive mention website. Anybody can go there because I don't want people to say, oh, I didn't know, I will not know about this. The government just published on the executive mention website. If you get going in Liberia, there is mandatory firearm registration. So this is a publication from the executive mention. Let me read an excerpt from this so people can understand.
We're starting the first topic now. Sorry about that, but
yeah,
I just wanted to run over a few.
Okay, please do that first.
Yeah. So just as Minister Pia was saying, we talked about this 2029 thing, and I heard Minister Pia also warning. I just want to caution people. All day 2029, I always say after 2029, we'll start talking about 2035. Then after 2035, everybody will start talking about 2041. You can wish for 2029, but also know that it is God that determines our fate. We go to bed, we don't even know what's going to happen the next day. On the issue of the gas, when Mo calls Amos, it will be very important if perhaps you would wish to do so and the others would support this, that we do a test today. We open the lines. What I'm seeing here on the various, the comments here from the various people commenting here, is very alarming. Some people are in the UK, some are in the US and other, and the prices that they are, typing here for gasoline is extremely alarming. So maybe we want to, after Amos speaks, we want to find out from our listeners in Liberia and other parts of the world, what's the cost of a gallon of gasoline where they are, so that people in our country and rural areas have a clear understanding that this is a global crisis, but it's going to be dealt with, and Liberia is handling this in an appropriate way, as compared to other nations. Sierra Leone, for example, it's going up the roof, so we have to give it out to the folks at the Liberia Petroleum Refinery Company. I just need a chance.
And I want to add that the guys are posting in Europe right now. Most of the gas per gallon is almost $12 for 1 gallon in most of Europe right now.
I don't want to believe that. $12?
Yes. The average between $10 to $12. Yes. For 1 gallon.
But let me also say,
somebody look it up for me.
You mean pounds?
No, US dollar, but the conversion now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me also say this, where there are countries, especially those in Southeast Asia and other parts of Asia, that governments are taking specific actions.
That's right.
As a result of these shortages. Here, we've continued our normal businesses.
Yeah.
So there are some countries where people are being asked to stay home, to work from home, because then it saves that movement. They are rationing. Some countries are rationing when, for example, this type of vehicles can use the road and that, and all kinds of different actions they are taking just to manage this. Our case is different. We have it. We don't seem to be threatened. The only difference is the price. Even the prices that are being announced is way better than that. And last week, fuel price in Arizona was over $5 per gallon. Okay, so We don't
Looks like
refine
it's cheap
fuel
on the
here.
East Coast. I'm seeing some people here
Yeah,
$4.19.
$4.19.
Yeah, but it depends on where you are. So
Mr.
so that's
Nambe,
something. But
I should
if
get
somebody's
Amos
listening,
on.
1 second more. If you're listening, so for instance, Patrick, the average, this is Belgium, it's $1.84 euro for 1 liter. So $1.84 euro would be approximately, let's say $2.50 for 1 liter. If they're getting 4 liter, you do the math. So if you guys are listening from Europe, if you can post your gas, if you do the conversion for me, I already appreciate it into US dollars. I will appreciate that. We just want
So
to
it's
post
4
here.
liters make a gallon.
Yeah, 4 liters make a gallon, but they're giving it to me in euro right now, 189. So 189 euro will be maybe like 255 to 260 US dollars. That conversion, something I want people to understand. But Mo, you got Amos on the line?
I was asking, let me get him on.
Yeah, get him on the line. I'll talk to Amos so you can give the people some direction.
Yeah, Charlie, you can be going ahead while I get it.
Okay, so while Amos is coming online, so those of you guys that are in Europe, if you can get a post on here, we want to see where your gas prices are. If you're in Asia, if you can do it in US dollar, it would be great. If you guys can, I don't have time to do the conversion right now. The rate right now, I just do an approximation. But I want to
$2.13.
Yeah,
$2.13.
for okay, so $2.13 times 4 with what would be the price right now in Belgium?
What?
Yeah.
$2.13?
For 1 liter. So there are 4 liter. So 213 would be like about $9.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And but the European party always had a higher gas price because their taxes.
All right, gentlemen, I have the managing director of LPRC and his deputy Eric on the line. Amos, good evening and welcome to the Class Reloaded.
Good evening, Ali, and good evening to the team there. How are you all, guys? Thank you for having us on.
We are great. We have Walu on, Patrick on, Steven Johnson, Big Brother Samuel Nambe, and the Information Minister who is just popping in tonight. Amos, we've been discussing the issue of petroleum products on the market and the wider of global market, the implication of the conflict in Iran. And so we, as a means of continuously informing our people on what's going on, we decided to get you guys on. So maybe you just give us a highlight of what's the current situation of petroleum products in the country.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ali, and let me say thanks to the team again for always, providing the necessary information to our people. We at the LPRC continue to work along in concert with other relevant government agencies, of course, including the Ministry of Commerce, to make sure that we, as a government, we do not lose sight of the President's mandate in the time of crisis to ensure availability and affordability. But at this crucial point, the primary focus is actually availability of petroleum products. So on the overall, it's important to highlight that the government continues to make sure that there is petroleum products in the market, on the Liberian market. So again, we emphasize that there is no need for worry about shortage for now. We continue to make sure that the products are available. Recently, we brought in products for Aminata, and then there's another consignment that is on its way by tomorrow for Connex, about 21,000 metric tons, particularly for diesel. So there is product availability. What is important is the pricing, which the government continues to work along with relevant petroleum stakeholders to make sure that pricing can be minimized. I know that a number of you followed recently, the government made a pronouncement about increase in pump price of gasoline, diesel, and of course jet, including HF4. This came from the backdrop that at the end of the month, as a Gulf country, we assess our flight figures and then come up with the final tally, consistent with the global price index. and of course consistent with our own pricing circular or pricing formula in the country. So we increased, for example, gasoline by 22 cents. In effect, gasoline should have been increased by more than that. But it's important to note that we have been working in concert with petroleum stakeholders. The Saturday that last Saturday that we did an increase, we held a meeting with the importers, with other stakeholders, from in the morning hours up to the afternoon hours, just having conversation with them to make sure that that they could agree to the government stipulated price in a way, just to minimize the high increase that would have potentially come up. So we want to thank the importers, for continuing to work along with the government. And we know that at the moment, prices should actually be far higher than what it is, but we continue to work alongside with them. So for now, when it comes to the state of petroleum in the country, we are good. Of course, the prices, as a government, we continue to study and analyze the price just to make sure that decision can be made so that we do not experience high costs compared to what is actually unfolding in the region and, of course, across the global community. So just in a nutshell, we are good when it comes to availability of petroleum products. But the price issue is something that we continue to work alongside with other stakeholders to make sure that there's a little bit of control when it comes to price.
Are you please asking, we are good means what? Do we have 1 month, 2 months worth?
Well, yes, we have petroleum products that will last up for the next 1 month, 1 month and a half, a little bit more than that. And like I said, products will be coming in country again by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, particularly diesel and an additional consignment of gasoline. So that's the context I'm speaking in. That there is availability now. Most times when we talk about availability of petroleum products, people would think that because products in the country, so it's supposed to be cheap. It is not the case. So the products that are coming in Liberia, they are coming at a very high cost. What the government has been doing of recent is working alongside with petroleum stakeholders to make sure that the products in country or that are coming in country, at least we can be able to minimize the cost. For example, currently, of course, there's some jargons we use people might not be familiar with. There is something called PLATT. It's a global assessor for prices of petroleum products in metric tons, in barrels, in metric tons particularly. So at last Saturday, one metric ton of petroleum products was around $1,487. $1,487. In Liberia, Saturday, we took it at $1,200. So $287, was removed for the purpose of making sure that we do not increase pump price of petroleum products. And when I told you earlier on that the conversation with the petroleum stakeholders, even though a number of them did not agree with the government stipulated price, it stems from there. Because they continue to argue that given the high increase in flight numbers, the government, when we are announcing pump price, we should be able to announce it based on the commensurate flight numbers or price on a global petroleum market. So these are some of the things that the government is doing on the behind the scene, working along with stakeholders to make sure that we do not increase or announce a high cost. Because if we were to go by that, Mr. Ali and the rest of the team and the Liberian people, by this time, perhaps in Liberia, we are selling gasoline, 1 gallon of gasoline today for more than $6, almost $7 United States dollars if we were to go by that. But today, gasoline price is at $5, $5.09 United States dollars. So I'm just saying to you that these are some of the behind the scenes conversations. It can be very tense, when we're deliberating, and sometimes, literally, people want to even fight. But because the government is committed, the president remains fully committed to make sure that we minimize the adverse impact of on the crisis. That's why we continue to work the way we're working to minimize the high cost of the product. But in effect, it's actually supposed to be far, far higher than what it is today for both gasoline and diesel. Like in other countries, maybe we can even talk about core the prices, in other countries and compare with what the price that we have in the Republic of Liberia. Maybe if my colleague, the Deputy for Operations, Eric, you got something to add there?
I want to ask him a question before you leave, Mo, if you can hear me.
No, he's here. He's here. Go ahead.
Honorable Tweb, the conversation has to be clear. We've heard some Liberians in the news say we are buying illegal fuel from somewhere. Can you comment on that? I'm pretty sure you heard about it. Where are we getting our fuel from, oil and gas from?
What is called illegal fuel at this crucial point in time? What is illegal about fuel right now? There's nothing called illegal fuel. There's nothing called illegal petroleum product at this critical time. It's important to emphasize that. Maybe people are not following what is happening globally. Even recently, you know that America lifted sanction on the Russian oil, lifted sanction on oils that, sanctions were imposed on before. So at the moment, there is nothing called illegal fuel. The government is doing everything we can to make sure that petroleum products are available on the market. As a result of the conflict, we're looking here and there, and people are trying to play politics, talking about illegal fuel. What is illegal about petroleum products? When do they want us to sit down as a government to allow, for example, hospitals that are operating on diesel machines, hospitals that are dependent on running of diesels or generator to go out of petroleum products? Then we're talking about sanctioned fuel and illegal fuel here and there. Is that what they want? For facilities in the Republic that depend on, that's supposed to be catering to the health needs of our people to run out of electricity or petroleum products in Liberia, so that they will come and play politics and say, we told you the government is not serious? So it is important to state that there is nothing at this crucial point in time called illegal fuel, illegal petroleum products. Wherever petroleum products are supposed to come from, the government has been cooperating, has been very compliant with international protocols, international regulations, and so on. But this crucial point in time, the government priority is the well-being of the citizens of the Republic of Liberia. It's the well-being of the people. We're not here for the politics, but rather how can we make sure that as a government we provide the necessary pathway that we allow for the flow of petroleum products in the Republic to fuel our economy in a way. Do they want the economy to shut down because there's going to be no petroleum products that will be afraid to bring in so-called illegal fuel? So we just want to dismiss that there is nothing illegal about petroleum products at this crucial point in time. Nobody should play politics with the lives of the ordinary people in Liberia.
I just wanted to add in deep way that even the very Iran, they had 140 million barrels on sea. America on sanction that oil to be sold just to ease the tension. And so for me, I didn't know where they came from with that. But Stephen and the other.
Before Stephen coming, let me ask my final question. I want to go to the deputy though. Let the deputy respond to this. I know LPRC has been building some storage capacity. The storage capacity that is being built, would this double Liberia storage capacity, or how much is it going to increase it by? And how soon will it be completed?
Thank you, Eduardo. It will not double what we have, all right? But what it has done essentially is to increase what we have. Before we took over in 2024, we had a storage capacity of around 51,000 metric tons. At the level of LPRC, as we are right now, we are around 64,000 metric tons. So we increased from 51 to 64. So I think incrementally we are doing well. So what we are doing in fact also is to ensure that we build more storage capacity. That plan is on the way to ensure that we increase our storage capacity from where we add around 64 to 100 or so. So it hasn't really doubled, but we are making frantic effort to ensure that we increase it materially.
Thank you. Thank you. Sibu?
Yeah, sure. So just to answer, just to start from where the deputy stopped. We have completed the construction of that tank, as you're asking, Dwalo, and right now we want to say that it is fully operational.
Okay.
As he was saying to you, we are now not even contemplating. We are in the process of starting a new tank farm, a brand new tank farm with overall storage capacity of about 50,000 metric tons, spread across 3 petroleum products: jet, diesel, and gasoline. So in the next 1-2 months, we are now putting together all the paperwork. We're going through the different approval processes just to make sure that we can start this project hopefully this year. So yes, like he indicated to you, incrementally, we are getting there to make sure that before the end of the first term of President Joseph Jomo Boakai, we can be able to double our current storage capacity, to over 100,000, metric ton, which is actually going to be a good thing for the country. And what we're doing, this new project that we're going to be embarking on in the next 1-2 months from now, hopefully, is that it's going to have the capacity, a backloading capability. That is, we can receive from a vessel and at the same time give back to the vessel for the purpose of doing short runs, either, in the southeast or even across the region. So we want to make sure that part of our project is to make Liberia to be a bunkering, facility. This is something that the president has been very strong on, and we're moving towards achieving that. I just wanted to add that piece to what Ire has said.
Thank you. Steve-O?
Thank you, Dwalo. Let me say hats off to MD Tue and DMO Eric for coming on tonight and to talk about the current situation. I don't have a question. I just have 2 suggestions to make. Suggestion number 1, I think these kinds of appearances are important. One of the ways in crisis that people can mitigate crisis is to also be able to provide your population as at when these unfolding happen, because you don't want people to create an impression that because a lot of persons don't follow global news, so they don't know what is happening. They don't even know what you talk about Strait of Hormuz. They don't have it's like an idea. The only thing they're concerned about is transportation fare, the price of gas. So what triggers that, they don't know. They don't have that kind of information. So I think the FPRC should invest more in PR in terms of providing the public with the relevant information. And I'm glad that the minister is on here. I think you can, coalesce to see how best you can increase the public information concerning some of these issues. The second thing also is for the FPRC to work closely with the Ministry of Commerce in terms of enforcing the price that are on the market. Because in times like these, there are people who create artificial shortages to hike prices, especially in the leeward counties. So, for instance, as you drift far away from Monrovia, even though prices will increase, but let's say somebody way in the other place, for example, starts to exploit the people there because of we don't have too much inspectors in the field, and even they are there, they are not in power, so to speak. So I think the FPRC should work closely with the Ministry of Commerce to ensure that you guys have a lot of inspectors out there to ensure that people don't exploit this situation to bring hardship on our people. I just thought to make those 2 suggestions, Amos and Eric.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Mr. Namwe, you have any question? Because I have a question.
Mine is not a question. Let me join Stephen and
Then
the
let me
rest of
ask.
you.
Then let me ask my question. Then you take your.
Okay, all right.
Amos, in 2022 we had shortage on the market and then increment in prices as a result of that shortage. Now we don't have shortage, but we are having increment in the prices. How can we relate this current scenario with that of 2022?
Well, thank you, Mo. So the situation here, they are completely unrelatable. And it's important to emphasize that the guys, our folks on the other side, continue to equate what is currently happening with the situation of 2022. 2022 situation was not even as a result of the, not 2022, I'm sorry. 2020, they said it actually happened in 2020, the end of 2019 to 2020, yes. So the 2020 situation was never as a result of the crisis, the Ukraine-Russia crisis. The Ukraine-Russia crisis happened in 2022. The crisis, the petroleum crisis in Liberia happened in 2020. And it was not as a result of any global situation, but it was as a result of incompetence and as a result of massive corruption. Now, what actually happened was that the then administration, and so on, carelessly, don't care way, just arbitrarily remove petroleum products that belong to importers from the tanks and did anything that they wanted to do with it.
Sorry.
So, because that situation happened, importers refused to bring in their products to be stored at LPRC. They said LPRC was no longer a facility to store. It was not credible enough to store products belonging to importers. And most of the products that come in the country, they come on CMA. They are not directly purchased by importers. So they do the sale of those products and then to the banks, and we make the money back to the owners. So
in other words, that's SLP, right?
That's SLP.
Almost like SLP, exactly, Mo. Almost like SLP. So because of that situation, most of the importers did not have the resources, the required resources to send for products. So they were like striking. They refused to bring in products because the LPRC facility was no longer safe or credible enough to hold their products.
Exactly.
This is why that situation occurred. So the entire facility ran dry. And so the country went out of petroleum products. That was the reason why the crisis in 2020 occurred. It was not as a result of any Ukraine situation. The Russian-Ukraine war started in 2022. So they are far completely different. Now, when the Russia-Ukraine situation happened, that was when the government, it was just within that period, the government said that they were allocating money. They were putting money aside for subsidy. It's important to emphasize that. And when they get the money for subsidy for rice particularly, because according to them, the roots, there was disruption in global supply chain and everything else. So rice, there were rice shortage here and there. So the government allocated money.
11 million.
11 million, exactly, Mo. 11 million United States dollars to provide subsidy.
Sure.
Even with the money that the government allocated, the rice price was still very high and it was not available. Our people, our market women, our sisters, our aunties, our mothers, they used to wake up at 4 a.m. to go and stand in long queue at Sipo and other places. Still, they did not access rice. So the United Party at the time criticized the CDC for being don't care and very intentional to suffer the people of Liberia. So when you hear people saying, "Oh, but you criticize when the situation happened in Ukraine," we did not just criticize the government at the time because we wanted to do so, but because the government allocated $11 million to provide subsidy for rice, and they did not do it. They ate that money, and rice price will begin so high increased astronomically. So the Unity Party criticized the CDC government for the don't care attitude. That was the purpose for that criticism. Now, the situation that we have on hand today is the U.S. Israel, Iran crisis. This crisis, what makes the crisis very completely different from the 2022 Russia-Ukraine war is because this crisis, unlike the Russian-Ukraine war, this crisis, there are a number of energy facilities that are being damaged, refineries in the Middle East and in other parts, they are being completely obliterated, in the words of Donald Trump. They are completely obliterated. So as a result of that, and then of course, like Stephen indicated, the Strait of Hormuz, where about 20% of global oil, supply paths, is being blocked. So that's why this crisis is far different, because energy facilities are being targeted, they are being hit very significantly, and so as a result of that, global oil prices are going way up in the roof. So what we're doing as a government is just to make sure that even though there is going to be our people, there will be a significant impact, but that impact will be minimized in a way. So I just wanted to, it's important you ask this question more, at least so that we'll put it in clear context for our people to understand that when we criticized the CDC yesterday, it was not because we wanted to criticize CDC unnecessarily or we are unreasonable people, but because the CDC allocated about $11 million to provide subsidy for rice in 2022 and beyond, and they did not do that. They ate the money, and our people were suffering. Price increase very astronomically, so we criticize them. So they cannot equate this crisis with the 2022 crisis and the petroleum crisis that happened in Liberia. It was not as a result of the Ukraine-Russia war. It's important to put this in clear context so that the people, the very younger people at the time, or those of our from CDC who did not clearly understand the issues that were unfolding, they can be able to understand this. And I challenge CDC, whether you got PhD in CDC or whatever it is, please, we challenge you, do not equate this crisis today to the crisis, the Ukraine-Russia crisis, because they are far completely different. And of course, with the petroleum crisis that happened in 2020, they are completely different. Eric, if you have something to add,
Let me add one question here. My final question.
Let me come to this point so Eric can come in. Today in a conversation with Eric, I asked, I said, but the Strait of Hormuz is in the Middle East, and that 20% passing there, I don't think our oil passing there, our petroleum product. But even says something about how, the countries that are affected, those companies that are affected, they got plenty money than us. So they will come on the other side where you normally get your product from and pay for it beforehand. Eric, I wanted you to throw more light on that.
Yeah. So for example, let me give you a scenario here in Africa, just in West Africa. All of the products at Dangote Refinery are all sold out. They are sold out not necessarily because they are bought by Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and other countries, but they are bought by countries from Europe and Asia. The reason there is the Strait of Hormuz, that where all the products go to Asia and Europe, people are accessing the product anymore. They are turning Africa and West Africa to see the supply you have here to take them to the cities. Like I see this morning, there's a situation where we have this product and it's scarce, and two of us want this particular product, and the person who is supplying the product outside the product is telling you that this is the price. So if you don't have the money, you will not access the product. The man who has the money will take the product. So it's the same exactly about what is happening now in the world. Because of the disruption in global supply chain, the European nations and Asian nations are coming to Africa, taking the product in the Dangote Refinery, as an example. All right. So that is the issue. I wanted to throw light on something that MD talked about the unrelated situation between the 2020 scenario of the past administration and today. If you look at 2020 March, that situation happened when people were sending long line around 2-3 a.m. to get petroleum products. Around the world, all of other countries were enjoying petroleum products. It was only like that suffered, that was getting products around the world. There was complete destruction of demand around the world at the time. Brent crude, for example, which is the international benchmark, was sold at the time at $20 per barrel. Today, if you look at Brent crude, this is shade and other outlets, it's around 110 and even above. But at the time, it was sold for $20. WTI, which is the American basket, reference basket, was sold for $37. What that means is that traders, the people who had a product, were begging other people to take it because their storages were full. They were asking people to come and take the product. That's what happened in 2020. When I said to you, when product all over the waters in the tanks around the world, Liberia was a state country that was struggling to get product around 2 days at the trading. I just thought to, I just thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. And just to add this piece before any question, look, like Mo indicated, just today, Mo and myself were in the office and I was having conversation with Fatima Dangote, the daughter of Aliko Dangote. He now controls the refinery. And, Mo, I told her, I said, no, we have catch. We want to get product. We got catch. You know what she told me? She said, it's not possible that you get product right now, this month, because everything has already been booked by the big European powers, the big European countries. They pay direct money. So she told me the next time we will have products, maybe we could get product will be either May or the end of May. So I just wanted to support what the DMDO has indicated, that is very true. Africa, we do not rely wholly, particularly West Africa, we do not rely wholly on products that are coming through the Strait of Hormuz, but because the countries that are supposed to be accessing products through the Strait of Hormuz, a number of them are closer to refineries in Europe. So, and of course, like he indicated to you, here in Africa, so they are purchasing the remaining products in droves. So what is happening now, some of the products that are passing through the Cape of Good Hope, through South Africa, and so on, because of that, insurance costs has increased, which of course increased significantly. So this is why products that are coming through and making their way in Togo, the Togo basin, and so they are very, very expensive because the insurance cost has increased, fish costs increase, and everything increased for that matter. So, but thankfully, Mo, the good thing is, even with the increase that this government has done as a result of the global situation, Liberia still maintains one of the lowest prices of petroleum products as we speak today. Our competitors, not competitors, but our counterparts in the region, maybe I don't want to be specific of a country, but right around here, they sell petroleum products, for example, one of the countries that border us. Diesel, as we speak today, gallon of diesel is sold for about $8 United States. Eric, correct?
Yes, that's correct. $8.
About $8 United States gallon of diesel. And how much are we selling it for in Liberia?
$6.
$6 and change. For gasoline, it's almost around $7 in most of the countries in the region. How much are we selling it for in Liberia? We're selling it in Liberia for $5.09. So even with the crisis, with the situation, we still maintain one of the lowest prices of petroleum products. We just wanted to, check those very important information in for our
people. Patrick, go ahead.
Okay. So Dwalu, I know after Amos and his deputy leaves, we'll have a post-mortem of this interview. But it's very important that Amos has come across today as reassuring for the people of Liberia. And I'd like to admonish you, as Stephen said, Amos, that some of these appearances are really, really very important, because you today intentionally made it very clear that, look, Liberia is better positioned, and Liberia has got feel that there's not going to be a shortage, not in a foreseeable, at least for a month or so. And that depends on how long this crisis goes and how well you are managing this. And I'd like to give it out to you, Amos, and your team, led by, under the direct supervision of His Excellency the President, who's taking leadership, playing leadership on this matter for Liberia to have access to this, to the products compared to other countries. And it's very important also that we intentionally emphasize that in other countries like Sri Lanka, in Asia and other countries, there are people have even cut down working hours. And these are nations. These are countries themselves. But people have cut down working hours in these countries. That would not have happened in Liberia by this time. So we'd like to give it out to you. My question to you now is, can you re-emphasize, Amos, that the product that we have on the market and the one that is coming, as you said, this week or so, will carry us for some time until we put in for another one, especially with that conversation you had with Madam Dangote?
Yes, definitely, Patrick. We want to just show our people, the citizens of Liberia, that we have petroleum products in country. Again, the price, it came at a very high price. The government will continue to consult with petroleum stakeholders to make sure that we do not announce high price compared to what is happening in the region, but the products in the country can carry us for the next month or more. So there is no need to panic. There is no need to engage in panic buying because there will be more products in the country. Again, we don't know when this crisis is going to end. We are continuing to plan, our stock. We continue to plan importation. We're continuing to look over the waters in the region, and so on. Wherever we can find petroleum products, we'll try as much as possible to make sure that Liberia gets some and that we can store it in our tanks and, so that we can continue to supply the Liberian petroleum market. Now, when we talk about, when we say there is product in the country, so the other day about 3 weeks ago or a month ago when the crisis started and we told you there is product in the country that can carry us for 3 weeks, you saw it very well. That up to this time, that just recently, about a few days ago, that Aminata brought in petroleum products. So the one that's in country that was brought in and the one that is coming in, they're all going to increase our current stock so that it carry us for additional month or so. And we'll continue to look over the waters, to establish contact with all the relevant parties that we know, people that we know. And thankfully, we have a president who has a wider outreach. He continues to reach out to counterparts to make sure that wherever we can find product as a country, we'll be able to purchase petroleum product. It's also important that I emphasize to you, the government has made some resources available, and that money is in the bank. We are looking out to continue to purchase additional petroleum products. The prices are very high. It's important to emphasize this. Our people need to know that even when there was no crisis, President Bouaka in 2020, for example, make sure he gave us a mandate that ensure availability and affordability of petroleum products.
You mean 2024?
Possible. Yeah, I mean 2024. I'm sorry, 2024, sure. Not 2020, of course, President Bouaka was not president in 2020. So in 2024, when we came, when the president passed that mandate, the government of Liberia was able to look through the petroleum pricing structure and remove the surcharge at a cost of 20 cents. That removal of the surcharge to the executive order issued by the president in 2020 made the government, I don't know why 2020 keep coming. In 2024, made the government to experience a budget gap of almost 15 million United States dollars. Imagine there was no crisis. The president took that bold decision, bold step. But the reason why we placed that back, of course, it was as a result in the wake of the drawdown of other official development assistance so that the government could prioritize other important priority projects. So it was pulled back. Again, the government continued to review these processes. As the crisis continued to intensify, the government will continue to analyze and study the possibility of taking some decisions in the very supreme interest of the people of Liberia. So do not allow anybody to play politics with you. this government is more determined, is more serious to make sure that you do not experience very negative adverse effects of this crisis. That's what we can say to you. Is there any other question or maybe comment?
I don't have a question, but I want to follow the footprint of Stephen Johnson. It is good to come on the class. It's good to come on the class reloaded. It's good to go on a radio station and talk. These are crisis time. A crisis time, the more you communicate to the people, the better you make it. The government has a platform that all government entities have been using to reach a broader audience, because all the media entities in the country are assembled at that platform every Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's right.
Since the advent of this petroleum crisis, the people have not had the opportunity to be talked to by the team, very efficient team that is managing this petroleum situation that keeping us afloat. So one piece of advice I will have for Amos and his team is whether they can prepare themselves to be our guests on Thursday. Tomorrow we are having the LEC management team. They're coming to tell their story about all the wonderful things they're doing in the country. It would be good if the LPRC team that have not utilized the platform, I don't remember whether Amos and his team have ever come there since I've been minister, but there's no better time than now, considering the crisis that is going on, that they take advantage of the opportunity and come Thursday to address the Liberian people through the bigger press briefing. That's all I could say to them.
Thank you, Minister.
All right.
Yeah. No, the man shouldn't go. I got one last question for the man. I'm begging you.
I remember even go. I made a request. The man has said,
The man said okay.
Okay, Minister.
So Mr. Number, go ahead.
So Amos, Sam here. How are you? And thank you for your service, you and Eric, to us. It's really very comforting that, and also a pride for us. People keep asking how we're managing this. We are not refining. We don't produce oil, but notwithstanding through ingenuities and all those kinds of things, we are ensuring that fuel is available. And you mentioned that your focus is about affordability. Availability now as opposed to affordability. Of course, you are very conscious in the price that you're doing. But in these kinds of times, the temptation for people to want to hoard the fuel can be high. And it's obvious that for whatever reason, people anticipate and think that it's not coming. So they will do panic buying and those kinds of things. Are you having something in place along with the Ministry of Commerce to avoid these kinds of arrangements? That's one. The second question for me is, again, to express my joy that you have the station in Ganta, storage facility in Ganta, up and ready and functional. Are you going to stop there? Thank you.
No, Minister, Big Brother, with it, the station in Ganta, we are actually in the process of trying to finalize the arrangement for.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about.
So where's the second? Where's the second one?
Was the one here in Monrovia?
Okay. My bad then. My bad. Okay.
Yeah. Is that? So we're doing a new tank farm in Monrovia, actually close up to the jetty. It's not the one in Ganta. That one in Ganta, we're still in the process of doing some finalizing some paperwork, and hopefully, we'll get started. We'll get started soon. We'll communicate that with the public. It's important to emphasize.
Okay. All right. Okay.
But the concentration right now is making sure that we increase our storage capacity in Monrovia. To be able to supply all the parts.
Got it.
Yeah. But on your question about hoarding, of course, the good thing is that we have mechanism into place that determines the total volume of products in the country. and the number of importers that own those volumes, and so on. So in a very unlikely event that we see somebody is attempting to hold products, or perhaps it's not selling at a specific area, and we know that you have station you are not selling, we obviously have to communicate with you. We've been doing that very effectively since the crisis started, and so far, we have not seen anything on the scale happening about hoarding. What we've also done, put into place, is working alongside with other relevant agencies of government to make sure that we man our borders so that we don't experience smuggling, of the product. Because, like I said to you, we still maintain one of the lowest prices of petroleum products. So, of course, there will be possibility for people to do smuggling overnight and so on. So, there are mechanisms into place to detect that through relevant government agencies. Of course, like people having responsibility to do to man our borders and so on. So, we are working alongside with immigration, police, and other relevant, government agencies. I just wanted to indicate that we're working with petroleum stakeholders as well. So, when we see anything that resembles hoarding, we can detect who is trying to engage with that. That's the good thing. We have a mechanism into place to determine that. Okay. However, it's good to state here that by this time, the price of petroleum product in Liberia is supposed to be far above what it is currently. But because of the determination of the president to make sure that our people don't experience too much adverse, impact or effect on this crisis, we are trying to minimize whatever we can to minimize, or reduce or avoid increasing the price. But it's important to emphasize our people need to know petroleum products, the prices are increasing globally. And so we as a government, we do not produce oil, we don't produce crude oil neither. So we depend on refined petroleum products that are imported into the country. So as a result of that, we don't have control over prices. So we need to continue to brace ourselves for that. The moment this crisis finishes and other things settle down, you can rest assured the government is going to roll back, the high cost of petroleum price to its normal status. It's important to emphasize this, but at the same time, the global energy infrastructure is being targeted, it's being damaged. Even when the crisis finishes, it's going to take some time for those refineries to get back on their feet. Let's be able to emphasize this to our people so that they know. However, the government is determined to make sure that there is availability of petroleum products on the Liberian markets.
Mo Ali,
Brilliant. Thank you.
The director covered Mr. Number. You asked my question, which is great, and the director answered that question. I think you guys have done a great job with the price controls in the country. I was going to talk about the arbitrage when it comes to cross-border smuggling, but you covered that portion because given that if you live in Sierra Leone, if, for example, paying a higher price, it's a great opportunity for arbitrage. But I'm pretty sure, like you said, you have a mechanism in place to make sure that it's mitigated. So I'm going to say thank you. You guys are doing a great job. That's what I'm going to say. Mo.
Thanks to Amos and Eric. And one thing that I usually do, I skim to the gas stations. When I go there and they say no product, immediately I call Amos or Eric. Eric is the first line. I call him because he's responsible for operation and say, Eric, I've gone to 2-3 gas stations and they say no product. So you need to do something. Like even this morning, and he will immediately call those stations, and in the next 1 hour, they will tell him, okay, by 1-2 hour product will be available. And today I observed that again. So I wanted to say thanks to them for being so responsive. Amos, thank you. Any parting comment from you and Eric?
Let me just listen to the DMDO. I think I've said enough. Eric?
Yeah, I would just like to say thanks for allowing us to partake on the show tonight. I think it's great. And I want to take the pieces of advice from Patrice TV and Minister Pierre. I think it's important that Pierre move regularly and give information to the people as and when is necessary. Also, we are aware of the backwardation effect when it comes to the oil and gas industry. Once the product comes into the country, because of the backwardation effect, the people get the quota faster and lead the thing. Even though we are making allowance saying, for example, that in the next 30 days or so, we can have the quota intent due to the high demand. They love which we are started projecting. So we are making sure that we replenish, the stocks as they are leaving the tank. That's what we are doing. That's why if you see from the 28th of February, since the crash started, today, April 6th, you haven't had any shortage in the country. So one of the questions people are now asking across the spectrum is, why is it that people have availability even though we have a very huge war globally? People are not asking the question. All that is fixated on is the price is going up, the price is there when they are not even doing and then scan across the region to know what the prices are in other countries. So I just want to admonish our people, like they said, that we are doing our best to ensure that there's always availability of current product in a midst of current global crisis. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and thanks to Amos for raising the show tonight. We look forward to hearing from you on Thursday at the Mika press briefing. Good night.
Hey, Basil Menze, what up, more? Yes, thank you so much, man. Thank you guys across the country for listening. Feels in the country, but most especially we have able leadership at the helm. Marie K, thank you for your $100. Cynthia Smith, thank you for your $50. We much appreciate it. That's on Cash App. I don't know if somebody sent me something in Zelle. Let me just make sure before we go to the next topic. And in Zelle here, somebody sent me $25. Henrietta Morgan sent me $25. Thank you so much, Mama. We appreciate you. And this will go. I will try more. I think the beginning will contact you. So for you, but I don't know, they make their price list so they can buy the equipment, and then we'll go from there. But before Amos came over, I don't know, you guys want us to take a phone call from the people back home in Liberia and hear from them regarding the fuel prices, or you want to go? I think we should take some phone calls. Let me bring Harris on the screen. Let's hear from the Liberian people about the gas issue.
In the diaspora too.
Yeah, the diaspora too. If you're calling from Norway, just tell us where your fuel price is, where you are. If you're in Liberia, there is ease of fuel distribution. I just watching the thread here. I hear my brother Abdullah saying, "Your land is Liberian people, no guy in Liberia." That some people will still come and touch Yama. But we highlight these comments just to make sure we provide the clarity that is required for the Liberian people. My brother Dolo, come on screen. Let's take some calls from Liberia first, and then we can go from there. And somebody said, "Oh, the gas in Liberia are poor quality, that I'm cool gas." Let's have that discussion. These little things sometimes we don't have to be talking about everything, but our goal is to make it as clear as possible so the lay person can understand what's happening in the country. My brother Dodo, let's take some calls on your end.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dualo. So you can, those of you who are listening to the show via Facebook or on Punch 106.7, you can now put in your calls on 0778 665699 or 080 561644, and you'll be live on the show 0778 665699 080 561644, and we'll pick you live. We are discussing petrol, and tonight you can just make an import send. Many of us are working. So hello. So let me put this call. Hello? Yeah. What's your name? Go ahead.
I don't know, but I think it's low.
Yeah, Dolo, you're a little bit lower. Can you up the volume, please?
Mm-hmm.
Dolo, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah, it's
you
very
not
low.
call us?
Yeah, it's low. Can you up it a little bit if you can?
Yeah, please go ahead.
We even know what I'm saying, sir. Dwalo, I think he needs to sort it out while you take the international calls here.
So let's do this, Dolo.
Okay.
Yeah, sort it out, and then we'll take some calls internationally, and then we'll go from there. Let me put the international number here up.
Okay. So let me get this done.
So for those of you guys internationally, you can reach out to us, have your say on the gasoline price, whatever you're calling from. The numbers on the screen. While my brother Dolo sort that out in the studio.
So Mr. Dolo, let's try this and come back. Let's see. Hello?
Try.
Yeah, are you getting the person?
Yes.
You getting the person, right?
Yeah, but a little high will be okay, but it's okay.
Put
Try
it up.
again.
Put it up.
Hello?
It's a little low.
You might need to ask Harris how Harris can put it thing up, man.
Okay, so we can continue with the national line while we get this done.
Okay, international callers, give me 1 second. Let me just plug this stuff in so we can get some serial clarity on the phone and hear from the international callers. We get our first caller here, Mr. Jerry Dobley. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brother Caro. My name is Jerry Dobley, calling from Springfield. Let me say grateful to the entire
Man, Dwalo, you're on low too.
My brother to admit when these people government getting power, this I think we expect. Let us forget what our half black brother there across the road there. And then since year they were in power, and then I just dance around the place. So no more accident that will ever happen for our country. Thank you for the opportunity, brother.
We appreciate your call every single time. And somebody just said, is it true the Guinean soldiers left the border? That's the report we are getting. But we have some verification. We'll come back to you guys. Caller, you're live.
Hey, Dwalo, how are you?
Excellent. I'm great. And you?
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for the show. You guys are doing extremely well. You know, Dwalo, one thing before I say anything, I want to advance. I want to just say this to our government officials. This platform, the Class Reloaded, it is for us.
Harris,
it is our
to get a call going through.
It is.
I need to remove the something from the main computer. What do you do?
Every time we are saying this over and over and again, the propaganda is out there. Look, Liberians, because of this so-called politics, love too much negativity of our own country. There's a guy, a fiance came from the US. They are in Liberia now. And I'm saying this, and I watched it on Emmanuel Cotto program. And the guy said something that struck to my mind.
I'm playing today. They were playing the beginning, yeah.
Yes, the guy said Liberians don't appreciate this freedom. They don't appreciate what they have. Dwalo, you know where I live.
Yeah.
You know where I am. We are over almost $4. For gas, Americans, both Republican and Democrat, are complaining. The country is getting tough.
Yeah.
Every day. And because of this politic business in our country, and because nothing is done to those laws makers that post nonsense on social media, they go scot-free. This is what making our country like that. We need to appreciate that country. Liberia is flying better.
Yeah.
On the line of gasoline and diesel. And they sit in that place, people laugh at them. They were living here. It was here. You don't know how this country looking. And we are getting everything in our country. And this old man is trying his best. But because of politics, they go and say all that of lies. And sometimes the government just look at it and say, oh man, I just made politics.
No.
Because I'm sorry to say, I always say this thing, bad news travel faster than good news.
That's right.
So it is time that our government officials make use of this platform. Every second, every minute they have, we need to come on the Class Reloaded.
Thank you, David.
Go to the Ministry of Education, or Ministry of information.
Yeah.
And say these things.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate
Thank you.
that, brother.
And David, I love that you raised that, because when I first asked toward my second question, somebody said, "Oh, Dwalu, why are you asking that question?" Of course, I know the answer to the question, but sometimes the clarity is needed. People say, "Oh, the government buying illegal fuel, they're buying Boko Haram fuel." Not that I don't know that's nonsense, but we got to provide clarity for our people. So this best person to ask is the managing director of LPRC, who knows where he's getting his fuel from. Everything goes through proper channel. We don't produce oil in the country. We don't have a refinery in Liberia. So obviously, I know it was propaganda, but by the same token, we ask these questions for additional clarity. That's why the platform exists. So if you still can make a call, the phone number is on the screen. That's 774-578-1963. If you come back on screen, Brother Dolo, if you all set up, and then we can take some calls from back home, that would be much appreciated. So the goal is to make sure the country is better. But some people, this is what happened in the WAP mind. They believe in their head that when the government fail, it will increase the opportunity to come back to power. I don't know where they get the kind of mentality from. It's a crazy mentality, because the people that are running the country, they want to leave the legacy. It's not about beating horse. Call it your life, and even where you call it from. Caller, don't listen in the team. Listen directly.
Yeah, there's Albert and I call from Brussels.
Hey, brother, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks a lot. What is happening in Liberia? Liberia have got this. Most Liberians getting to understand that what is happening, the negative news around the country is basically from the opposition, is the way to run that propaganda. Because at the end of the day, the opposition, especially from the CDC, what happened in the last 6 years when they ran the country, shortage of petroleum products in the country was due to negligence and incompetency. Okay, but what Tua and the guys are doing at the APRC, it means these difficult times where petroleum products are not even found in the market so easily. They are making negotiations out there, making contacts and bringing these products to the country. What Liberia should be taking on now is that Liberia is a blessed country to have products on the market.
Exactly.
The price, I understand the price is high, but it's better for you to get the price where mobility is easier than for you to be able to walk from one point to another point.
What's the price in Belgium?
Anywhere.
Aber.
In Belgium,
Yeah.
Euro 98 is 2 euro.
2 euros, so that what? $2.20, right?
Yeah.
$2.20 times 4.
Times 4, yeah.
Times 4. So it's almost like $9.
Yeah, and then euro 95 is €1.94, 95 cents. With two different grades.
So just around $9.
Yeah, around $9. The same $9, yeah.
Per gallon.
In Europe.
Yeah.
And the price may likely go up. What is helping Belgium is that Belgium is using a system where they can convert the wind into energy.
Yes.
And, so it is also helping to subsidize, that consumption of fuel. But right now, they are even advising people to reduce their consumption.
That's right.
So like me, they monitor me because I use a budget meter.
Okay.
I'm using budget meter. So what they look at, they will send me a message. If I put heater on now, they will send me a message to cut the heater off. Because it's not too cold.
You joking?
Yeah. As soon as I put heater right now,
wow,
I'll receive message. So people are rationing, but Liberians, we must not politicize everything, because the more we politicize things and make the country to look negative, people want job in the country. Do you think anybody want to come into a country to invest where negativity is all over the place?
Tell them.
Tell them. And these are the same opposition. When they get there tomorrow, they cannot remedy the situation.
You're not getting there. Let me cool.
So we just have to be careful in the country, because these people, while the entire 6 years, those people who are crying today, the 6 years they were in power. There was no global crisis, but you were in line having gallons, really working from one point to another point. There was no global crisis.
Thank you, Brother Blair.
Control it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Brother.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dolo, let's take some calls from your end. Let's see what's people going on out there. Let's take some calls from your end.
Okay, so let me announce the
Let me see my
numbers
brother
again.
Albert's number here. So let's
You
take
can
some
call us.
calls from your end, brother.
Yeah, so let me put this call. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello. Yeah, welcome to the show. What's your name?
To my family, thank you to brother, thank you to everyone. There's a powerful coin where the party into legal bureau. Oh, I thank God so much for the managing director on the 12, even 12 to speak the hour to the Liberian people about the petrol. Because some women going around, it says nothing in here, nothing there. So one of my friends, I'll say that laugh. They come here, one of the teachers, five people coming. Nobody in the tree looking for food or bar. Nobody in the tree looking for petrol. So bar, everything normal. When it's in the transport minister, when the common minister will come together to prepare this one and they take up and go to the citizen that pay. They walk into the Middle East, they say everyone saying what's going on, putting it down. Small, they want to everything before they do, God, they took their country. Then what they take for us. They think they can get a point about and they will say no to it. The development of people and say, why the president got the report they say that they want to talk about politics, you come to my comment. They all do that, like no work. They don't go and finish. They don't all have free finish. So now cry one day. What the hospital now for all of medicine. Then the people are coming by again to come who said no.
What's up?
And say what so much so yeah, everyone. What for here around the woman to push up on the income. If you come in the same and you want to prepare for our school, you never do what can you put on that? That is what we're back. What can do anything? Then go for the laboratory to put the comment to get the country to the woman to do something good for us and something good happening. Yes, the primary authority, the managing director for and a state paper to the Liberian people. That's why the channel who are wrong with even wrong information. Now they come to get better. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So you can put another call. Hello, good evening. Hello, welcome. What's your name? Hello, welcome. What's your name? Please call your name.
And I do join the conversation this night from Upper Hardware. Let me take this time to extend my greeting, my sincere greeting to all of you, most over my big brother, the managing director, Muhammad Ali, who is working diligently. And also the big war of Mo Ali at LWSE. We haven't received any water shortages, or even if there is shortages, once he notices, he connects all of the directors and he gives us water. Yeah, so you people are doing good, and also let me take you to the managing director, Square. Just as he was saying today on the platform, the gasoline price, they have managed to put this thing into place. And things are under control. The only in Ghana with some of us is that because up to now we haven't yet received any joy as in nothing happening yet, but at least we are happy with the way the government is working. That's that we are nothing doing. There are some difficulties when it comes to our human life, but yeah, we are hopeful of the government working and we are happy for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hello. Hello. Yeah, so you can put in your calls. Hello. Hello. Yeah. What's your name? Where do you call from?
My name is Thomas F. Judah, calling from Johnson Repair and this is number 2 Motor Auto Country. First, let me appreciate you go and the panel and on the show. First, I got to really work on the radio, on the station. You're really suffering. Or you know, we always want to listen to the platform, especially I think about 3 or 4 days. We are not having no access from you people.
Oh, he went offline. He went offline, so you can still call us on 0880-561644 and you'll be live. Mr. Dualo, you can take some calls from there while we try to settle the main line for you right away. So if you got some international calls, you can take some international calls.
That's fine. So anybody who want to call, you can call still here on the show on the network. But in the meantime, some people have been asking about whether the Guinean soldiers are retreated. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure, and I just got a video here. I just have to go through the video to make sure everything is clear before we do that. But in the meantime, before I go to Stevie there, let's listen to my younger brother out of District Number 8. You know, sometimes it can always be about, you know, I'm not even doing that. I want to play my new Jew, the newest Jew in Liberia that I love. She gets Shamor, and I love her Shamor. Let's comment on it, what she said here, Stevie. Let's listen to her.
And if you're a Liberian living outside of Liberia, please, if you're not contributing to this country economy or you're not planning on contributing to this country economy in any shape, way, or form, please keep your 2 cents, your 5 cents, your month cent with you and your family. Yeah, because you're also part of the problem. You cannot sit and complain, but you're not doing anything also for the betterment of this country. So when you come in December, what you fall on ground are what you will handle, and you're going to like our aesthetics. T for thanks.
Mo Ali, our small mama Shamo. She said you must keep your 2 cents, your 5 cents, and your more cent. Don't be put your more, bro. If you're not coming to help, don't be the one where you meet there. Like when you can go to Mo Ali one. Most of them do get Kazali. I remember you get to eat. Most of them want get. Mo, you're coming on the leg here. I don't know her name. But I think she means well, and like I said in the beginning, we that come from abroad all across the globe, we got work to do in Liberia. Complaining alone, like, you can't help. We got to do more. Let me have you comment there. We still got a few minutes here before.
I have been following her videos on Facebook, and I think her name is Lara Miller. And this is not the first video. There are several of them on her page, but I think she's right, and most of her videos are about people who want to contribute to the country. You only want to contribute, sit down and forget about it. But her point mainly is, don't just go get the country banning because you don't want to do it. So those who want to do it, leave them, let it do it. Now when she starts a video, she can say, this video here, if you're not Liberian part, this video for people who get interest in Liberia, those who want help to develop the country, and all I want to know is say, keep your 2 cents, your 5 cents, your month cent.
That's it. But besides the more cent thing, yeah, we understand, but it's a little bit of joking. It's just the way she posted 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, more cent. It's yeah, you can say insulting if you want to be all I don't know, professional about it, but she's trying to make the point. Patrick, your comment on this issue. I got this video. The video doesn't look too bad. I don't know whether the Guineans are going to come back. I don't know the protocol around this issue, so I don't really want to comment on it until we got additional detail, but I do have the video. I will try to play a little bit. But Patrick, let's hear from you.
So the actual story about the Guinea thing, I'm sure that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah,
the actual story today that broke out about the Guinean thing is from the Kanubu, I hope I got that name right, Kwaruboni end, and not the Suleba end. So we got to get it right so that we don't get the information out there and people start saying. So there was this traditional engagement from the Kamaras, on the Kwaruboni end, the Kamaras on the, there's a footpath, and these people are the same. There are families on the other side, I understand they had a meeting. They came to Liberia, they went to Guinea, and this Saturday they came to Liberia. When they came to Liberia, they only came with one soldier without a gun, and they had a discussion, and they pulled back. Their flag is not even there. They took their flag down from that end, because I was just watching on Voice of Lofa. Voice of Lofa. Yeah, if you go on the page right now, you see the video, and the journalist is there videotaping where they used to sit in some makeshift structure. They were not there. The flag wasn't there. That says a lot.
Lofa.
1 second.
And of course, my name is Jeremiah Debo. We here in Lofa County, Wanjaman city specifically. Today is let me get the date correct. Today is the 6th of April, 2026. And of course, we are opportunity to be here today to see exactly what are informations that are relative to our viewers, to our listeners, to our followers across Liberia. So today we here in Konadu. This is Konadu port of entry, and this entry, you be aware of some weeks a month ago, there have been information about Guinean being here, hosting the flight right here. But we got information today that the Guineans are no longer, their flight is no longer here. So we have come to fact check this, and this is the place where we are. What we see here currently, folks, is that we are not seeing Guineans right here. We are not seeing them here. Here's where they were first. Some weeks ago, they've been here. This particular place, you see, they've been here. Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, but we can be here, and you see exactly back there. When we go at the front, the network will not allow us, but we can be right here, and you see exactly. But the most talk about information is that we hear this evening, and we are not seeing Guineans right here. We are not seeing the soldiers that were assigned here with flag. This is back there. Those of you, let me just zoom the camera. You see, this is the flag pole they use right there. This pole, this reef was a pole they normally use, and they have left. This is the kitchen that they were using right here, and there you have the seat where they normally go and come.
So, Stevie. So basically, 1 second. Let me just shut this off. Thank you so much. So we're hearing that they have left now. Obviously, there are additional detail whether this is permanent, whether it's not permanent, but they are present at that location. Stephen, Patrick, let me have you finish what you're saying.
So the flag is also not there. It's very important to note that the way they left from down there was non-violent.
Correct.
There's no incident of people taking down their flag. They themselves took their flag down. They themselves left from there. It says a lot about how to handle crisis. And I want to thank the traditional leaders in Lofa County for dealing with this issue in a very mature way, that this has come to a point. And as you said, nobody knows whether they would decide to come back. But it's important to also note that this is where the AI picture came from.
That's right.
Of a guy believed to be rooting out the cornerstone, which was fake, which was an AI photo. That happened not to be true, completely false. And now we're hearing that they have gone back. So I believe that the same thing will happen on the other side.
Correct.
The same thing will happen on the other side. But this is progress. The only thing is, we appreciate journalists leaving from Monrovia, going to these areas, videotaping, trying to find stories to put up, and then get the people in the diaspora so hyped.
Worked up, yeah.
You know, like somebody called me from the US 2 days ago and said, Patrick, they think yeah, but they bought a thing yeah. It make I say, wait now, man, you on that side, just relax. Because if you continue to just see any kind of story, we all know the tricks of the game. We all know what people want to project. They only project what they want people to know. So, and they try as much as possible to make you to believe what they want you to believe. And that's how it works. But these same people, if you notice, go on social media now.
Y'all know?
This is not trending.
Of course not.
This is not trending. And for those of you who are following bloggers and all of that, you need to ask yourself, if this were trending in the first instant, when the first place happened, the second place happened, it made everybody so tense and all of that. Why isn't it trending? Why is this not a news? Tomorrow, watch the newspapers. Whether this will make headlines. It says something. And somebody said bad news, sensationalism would sell. But when you roll back the stone, you know, people find some other bad news.
Of course.
So they find different bad news now, which is sad. But anyway, that's positive.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephen. And I agree 100%. Henrietta Morgan, your $25. Siada Timber, thank you so much, your $100. Kula Blama, your $20. We appreciate it. Guys, the number is still on the screen that you can contribute to us. And you guys, all of you guys agree to this for us to do it once a month. So the first month, obviously, we're going to buy the equipment for the guys in Liberia. These stories, especially from places like Lofa, we can send them there for the class reloaded crew. Let's get our own information. We can call them out of the field. We will raise some money. I think right now we have raised some decent money so far. I want to say at least $700 already, but I will do the calculations. And then whatever I have to do, I send it to the guys so they can buy the equipment. I have a listing for the equipment here, and I listed them what they're trying to buy. 1 second here, Mo, before I come to you. I just want to announce for these guys one day again to make sure we get all their stuff so they can get on the road, and then we go from there. I just want to pull this up very quickly. What am I begin Makula? They get so much stuff here. Makula, where are you? Oh God, just want to tap in here. Okay, Makula class reloaded chief. So he sent a list here, and the list they want 3 pieces of quality phone. Preferably, he said iPhone, but we'll see. 2 laptops, 1 drone of good quality, 1 Canon camera, 7mm or 350mm, or rather a Starlink for internet, 3 pieces of high quality voice recorder, a mic, and a mic handle. That's what they're looking for. So this money will go towards purchasing all those equipment. Obviously, we'll get them some vests. And then every month, whatever we decide as a class to put together, and we pay these guys every month. Like I said, I get the first 3 people. Harris will be added to that list to make it 4 people. So whenever we get something, we send them there. This is the team. Yes, ladies, I make sure females on our team as well. And to be able to go there, like I said, she has a specialization in communications. So hopefully we can call in the field and we can get a Facebook page that we already have dedicated to this to publish our own stories and get information directly from the source. When something is happening somewhere, we can send them there. Whatever money we get in reserve, we keep in reserve for their transportation, for their feeding. They can go anywhere in the country to get news directly for the class reloaded. This is very important that we bring up message that is raw, straight and direct. Honorable Nambi recommended here that we get a mobile money number for Liberia. And Mo said they will help take care of some of this stuff. So whatever we raise, whatever they get from Liberia, we add it up to take care of these guys. Like I said, we always decide jointly what to pay them monthly. We can start low, we start high, whatever you want to do. We go from there. Steven, it's been a long day. What's your parting statement, sir?
So thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Dwalu. I think it's been a long day. It's been a very good conversation. I think we spoke about most of the issues that mattered. We talked about the petroleum product and its availability on the Liberian market vis-a-vis the current situation in the Middle East. We also talk about the situation in Lofa. From my own perspective, I think the situation was overly hyped. I didn't think that what was happening in Lofa would have resulted in any form to a conflict between the 2 countries. As somebody who has worked extensively along the borderlines, I've seen how the folks that live on those lines have that kind of community relationship. You have a lot of intermarriages. You have, in terms of the economics along the borderline, most of those countries, the citizens from both sides will trade with each other. So it's a complex situation. So for that kind of thing to just degenerate into a conflict, I didn't think that would happen. However, I thought the media was blowing it out of proportion, making it to appear like this was an attempt to throw the government into a conflict, you know, by saying the government was weak and that the leadership didn't show strength. And in diplomacy, strength is shown different ways.
Exactly.
You might think that by taking up arms and going to attack another country is a show of strength. You could be wrong. Another way people show strength is dialogue. You know, in most cases, the bigger person is the one who initiates a dialogue. And once we can amicably resolve that conflict, what's the essence? And then Dwalu, on the issue of what is happening currently in the country in aviation news, we got some big news in the pipeline, specific of which we cannot divulge. Once we have the clear details about where we are, I think we'll announce them to the public. This country will never be the same. Every sector of our country will experience transformation. Liberia is poised to becoming a post-conflict success story, and I'm happy. I'm happy as a Liberian to also be a part of this journey as we all together move Liberia from the airtight cages of poverty to the pinnacle of development and long-lasting peace. I'm also particularly happy that we can leave for our children and our children's children a Liberia foundation upon, you know, national development, nation building, and national renewal, because those are the ingredients that we need to transform this country and make it an oasis of development and long-lasting peace. On that note, Dwalu, thank you for the opportunity. Looking forward to the other conversation in the course of the week. Thanks to Patrick, Ali, and the rest of the crew who showed up tonight and was part of the conversation. Many thanks to all of the folks listening. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you so much. Elizabeth K. Collins, thank you for your $50. Before Patrick close, it is important we got to listen to 2 more minutes of this conversation, because this is something that it gives me great joy that the young people across Liberia are beginning to open their eyes and realizing that they have to support proper leadership for their country to develop. Let's listen to this young man before Patrick and Mo close tonight.
Yo, President Boyka, Papi, you see me? I just kind of gonna tell you thank you, your friend. There are plenty of other things that can be hiding. We ain't able to tell you thank you because our understanding of development, politics, government growth was narrow.
So guys, thanks for being here. It's what we have time for tonight on relaying the class Read With It. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Please make sure you share the podcast. We've been relaying on 3 channels: the Alberts, Cloud Political Replay, and the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys for being there. I will catch you guys tomorrow. From my end, bye-bye and good night, and take care. Please make sure you share this podcast.